At my lowest point in homelessness, I wanted to end this so bad, the homelessness, I was going to jump off a bridge.
I try to remember that for as many negatives there are, that there must be that many positives. And so I keep looking at the positives, and I keep trying to remember that there are beautiful colors, and that I'm saving my life.
But you don't know their story, how they got there, or why they're there. It could have been a fire or a disaster that happened. You know, not all of them are addicted to drugs. A lot of them are. But they feel that they're hopeless. That's why they go to the drugs when they're on the street. And there's not enough people. People are out there to condemn the homeless instead of trying to help the homeless. You know, and they're like, oh, well, you got here because you're a drug addict. Yeah, but what made us a drug addict to get us to this point, to hate our life so much, to be living out here?
The way how we treat ourselves is horrible. Stop by and ask that person how they're doing, if they need something. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just, if you do that, sometimes they just want to talk.
Now, 10 to 15% of the families we're dealing with have men that are actively involved, even heads of households, single daddies. But we see folks who work and who still can't afford to put a roof over their babies' heads.
You should never pity people, because like that could be you, like in a month or two if something goes wrong with your bank account or whatever. So a lot of people I always see when they look at homeless people, they think they're like bad, or like, oh, you're stupid for getting yourself in that situation.
Like not willing to go out and help homeless people because of like how they see them as like, oh, they might be like drug addicts, or like something's wrong with them. So I think it's very hard on them.
Yeah.
Trust and believe me, I've seen it. When they say that you see the light at the end of the tunnel, I've seen that light. It's real, okay? So ODing and getting sick and not waking up in the hospital, not knowing how you got there, not remembering anything, it's not a good feeling, okay? When you're waking up in the hospital and you have tubes down your throat, up your nose, and in your arm, and they're working on you, and then you wake up scared, and then figure, what did I do? We'll help you. Unfortunately, you kind of have to say that you're homeless, you're addicted to drugs, and you're thinking about hurting yourself before you get the help. But there's the help.
The lack of support that we have for homeless people.
There aren't a lot of systems put in place to help them out of that.
And I don't feel that we should have to beg for help. You know, if you want the help, yes, ask for it, but why should we have to lower and belittle ourselves to beg for help? And that's exactly what I feel like they're making us do. Like we're not worthy of getting the help that everybody else is getting, you know, because we're homeless or because we're addicted to drugs.
Increasing costs of living without an increased wage to follow it.
People are homeless because capitalism exploits people in the workforce, and then landlords, many of them capitalist landlords, big landlords, what they do is they use the fact that people need housing, particularly in cities, right? They jack the price of housing up, and then people tend to kind of have a lot of people in their families that all need housing, but because wages are so low, many of the times working class people can't afford the price of rent. So people are homeless because there is a contradiction in capitalism. You want workers, but you don't want to actually serve their human needs.
I went from rehab to IOP to living in a shelter to me having my own, I'm renting a room over here on Green Street, to I just found out last week I just got approved for affordable housing. So that goes through my income. So now all I just had to do is find a place now for myself. So there is hope out there.
I would say that probably a large homeless population has substance abuse issues. Percentage-wise, I'd probably say it's about 50%. I'm not sure though.
Well, I was using very heavy for a very long time. I was numerous of times I lived on the street. The first time I was living there for like a year and a half on the street. I went to rehab 3 different times. The last time I was clean for 9 years. Right after my partner was passed away 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, and then my nephew passed away 2 years ago, I went back out.
Anything that makes you different, that will put you at a disadvantage earlier on in life. So I guess socioeconomic factors, there's political factors.
So I believe that social groups that were in the past put into the margins of society, they still struggle to reach the same level as those who in the past, they were already developing and socially, included in society.
Many people can be come out to their families and be homeless because their families reject them for who they are.
I was always in a very abusive relationships, from my father to my brother to my ex down in Florida. My father used to beat me up and everything. I was mentally, physically, and sexually abused. My ex from Florida used to beat the hell out of me every single day. Wind up having black eyes every day, busted ribs, broken nose, broke my jaw. The last time he stabbed me with a serrated hunting knife, and I had 42 staples right here in my stomach. My brother doesn't accept my lifestyle, so the last time I was clean, it was Thanksgiving 5 years ago. He chased me around my mom's house, yelled, "I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you," threw money at me and said, "Go kill yourself, nobody wanted you, you're the biggest mistake and the biggest disgrace of the family." The last straw that he said to me was, in his eyes, for me being gay, I was no better than being a child molester in his eyes. This time I finally went back to the rehab and I found myself again. So today I'm okay with who I am and pretty much forget everybody else. All I really need is my mom. I don't know, I'm come a long way since I've just come up on a year clean again. I continue going to my meetings. Like I said, I speak at my meetings today.
The system has failed. We, as a community, we're supposed to be there for every one of our brethren.
There's a lot of vets that are probably homeless because the VA doesn't want to help them.
From what I know some people, they develop a mental illness.
Okay, like I'm bipolar 1. So yes, I'm on medication and I get depressed, but I have resources today to know how to get through the depression and what I'm feeling today. So just ask for the help. It's the most important. If you like yourself, if you love yourself, you're worth asking for the help. I was like, I got this. So I didn't need my meetings. I stopped going to my meetings. I stopped calling my sponsor, stopped communicating with everybody. I was just putting myself in a shell. This very last time, I was living 9 months on the street in a tent all winter long behind the bus terminal in Toms River. I OD'd 3 times. Okay, the last time that I OD'd, I went from, they had to hit me with Narcan 4 times to bring me back.
Burdened by the housing costs, and that what that means is that if a third of their wages, right, has to be allocated for housing, that means that you are already thinking way too much financially about how to keep a roof over your head.
There's enough housing in this country to house, abandoned housing at that, to house every person, not every family, every person in this country. I think affordable housing is an issue, right?
Best thing I could say is just lie. And I hate to say lie on an application, but if it's gonna help you get a job when you're homeless, you gotta do what you gotta do today.
Not having an address means that if you have kids, you might not be able to enroll them in school, okay? There are schools out there that are asking for parents' social security. They're asking for address. They're asking for proof of this, and that paperwork. People who do not have paperwork in the society because capitalists has decided that they're not gonna give them paperwork because they can exploit them better, they have a problem. So mail-in, school, employment, any type of institution in the society that deals with paperwork, when you do not have paperwork, you are going to be more exploitable. You're going to be super exploited because why don't you have a paperwork? And we never look at the people who decide not to give people paperwork.
Like say if you're HIV positive, there's an organization called Hyacinth that they go over and they help you with finding housing. They help you with whatever you need. If you need help getting medication, they help you with all that organization. Especially if you're HIV and you're in recovery, they would sooner help you for that more. Ask for the help. If you go, say you have a warrant for whatever you did, okay? You go to a police station, any police station around you go in, you tell them, you turn yourself in, and you tell them that you need help and you're addicted to drugs, they will take you personally to the rehab. No questions asked and no charges filed against you. Because once you're in a rehab, no matter if you have charges or warrants, whoever comes looking for you, it's against the HIPAA laws for them to tell them that you're in that organization, in that foundation. Right over here on University Avenue, they will actually help you get an ID. They help you get your license back. If you need legal help, you could do that. They can't judge you. They cannot deny you a job because you're living in a shelter. You know, but there are places out here that will help you with legal advice, getting clothing, getting IDs, you know, Newark Family Emergency right here on Broad Street. They go over, if you need, they feed you. You could take a shower there every single day, and you could do your laundry there every single day. So not everybody out here on the streets knows about Newark Family Emergency, and it's right next door to and down the street from unemployment office. There's certain days at the YMCA over here that they allow you to go in and take a shower. The Obamacare or whatever like that as well, or go to 50 South Clinton or social services here in Newark and tell them you get a voucher. And most of the time at the social services, when they get you a voucher, they will get you into a shelter. Unemployment office, you go upstairs to the DVR program. The DVR program will help you get a sewer license. They will pay for you to get a sewer license and the course, and it's for free. And they will send you back to school too, if you want to go back to school, and they'll pay for you to go back to school. If you go to the library, you could go on the computer and ask for help on the computers. There's churches like this one that goes over and helps you feed and eat. I try to help everybody, and I try to give them the light of where I was to where you could be today. So it's not the end of the world if you're back in rehab, no matter how many times that you go back. It's not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself up and say, oh, I'm a loser, I'm this, I'm that. It's to better yourself. Think that you're here to help yourself and do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else.
Success feels different after failure. And there is no greater fail than losing your dignity and having your humanity marginalized. Overcoming that level of defeat, which is the agony of homelessness, requires a Herculean effort. It is no small feat to fight for your life. Make no mistake about it. This is what it means to live in a homeless shelter. I know a number of men in the double digits who once lived on New York City's lowest societal rung, the epicenter of homelessness known as Ward's Island. They didn't succeed in living to see themselves rise to the rank of formerly homeless. Those last two words, so simple, so sweet, when I say them, it sounds victorious. They mean success. In spite of unbelievable hardship, success that can be keenly sensed in the simplest things. Success is opening the mailbox and seeing a utility bill bearing your name. Success is putting out regular trash on Tuesdays and recyclables on Fridays. Success is boiling water on your stove in a glass kettle that you paid $1 for at the Everything Goes thrift shop. Success is having a freezer for all that ice cream. Success is coming home. Wait, repeat that. Success is coming home, and instead of seeing yet again a body bag being tossed in the medical examiner's van parked outside the men's shelter, I see a refrigerated truck in front of mi casa because leche and queso is being delivered to the Guatemalan corner store. Success is when you have keys and walk in whenever you please. Success is attending the Coalition's weekly client advisory group meeting and introducing myself. Hi, I'm Dennis, formerly homeless.